All right. What's up, everybody? Fired up. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Half the week's over. Not that that's relevant to my life in any way, but every day is pretty much the same. Um, so if you saw the caption, I wanted to chat metaphysics today. I wanted to chat, man, like what's possible and how possible it really is. I think so many people get caught up and what everyone else is doing that they lose sight of what's possible in their own life. Sporting the Live Free T-shirt today. I sent one of those to Reno, Nevada, a couple days ago. A buddy of mine wanted one. He's like, "Dude, you gotta make me a shirt. You gotta mail it to me." Freaking shipping's expensive these days. I was like, "Yeah, send me 25 bucks." I went to FedEx, shipped the shirt. The shipping was $23. I was like, "Golly, I need to figure out a better process for all that." But I'm not an apparel. I don't have like an apparel business or anything. I just, someone wants to rock the brand, of course I'll let them. But yeah, metaphysics, I read some crazy books on this stuff. And if you if we can think back, yeah, my wife just sent me a text. Every day is Prime Day when you're married to my wife. Yeah, no joke. Is today Amazon Prime Day or something? We have Amazon Prime boxes at our door, literally more days than we don't have Amazon Prime boxes at our door. Um, Back to the subject at hand. So metaphysics, like any success book. So if you think back at any of like the major success books that have outlasted, you know, um, have, you know, the classics, the ones that are timeless, the ones that people still talk about that were published 100 years ago, 100 plus years ago. I can think of some. Like James Allen wrote the book As a Man Thinketh in 19, I think it was published in 1902. But I mean, you got Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, who wrote The Laws of Success. I mean, this guy went and studied, I think he was employed by Andrew Carnegie, the one that had like the steel tycoon. I mean, he was the richest man in the world at the time, and got Napoleon Hill went and interviewed all the major successful people to find these commonalities between the most successful people in the world and put it in a book, Think and Grow Rich. And I mean, you take people like Bob Proctor, who recently passed, but he studied Think and Grow Rich for basically his entire life, and that's all he talked about was the ability to attract, the law of attraction. He was in the movie The Secret, which I think was kind of I think that movie could have been better done. It was a little silly. But I mean, there has to be some truth to this stuff. Do you not agree? I mean, it's biblical. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So what does that mean? Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, he says, you become what you think about most of the time. So if what you attract, if you attract who you are, and we become what we think about, and you have books like the most successful, or the most sought after success book of all time is called Think and Grow Rich. Not Work Hard and Get Rich, or I'm not saying work ethic is not a determining factor in the success that you have, because it absolutely is. But I mean, I see people out here roofing houses, cutting grass, doing construction in 100-degree heat outside. These people aren't millionaires, but they sure are working hard. I mean, you take a guy who makes $20,000 a year and a guy who makes $100,000 a year. Does the guy who makes $100,000 a year necessarily work 5 times harder than the person who makes $20,000 a year? Or I guess a better example would be take somebody who makes $100,000 a year and take someone who makes $1 million a year. Is the guy who makes $1 million a year working 10 times harder than the guy who's making $100,000 a year? No, not likely. In fact, good chance he's working less than the guy making $100,000 a year. Because if you know anything about like the cash flow quadrant, 90 95% of people have a linear income where they're trading their hours for dollars. They have to be there in order to get paid. They're not there, they're not getting paid. And that doesn't mean they're just an employee. They could be self-employed, like the guy cutting the grass. Whether you work for someone or you own your own job, if you're not there, you're not getting paid. That's 95% of the people in the United States. And Robert Kiyosaki says in the book The Cash Flow Quadrant that those 95% of people only control about 5% of the wealth in the country. Yet you take the other 5% of people who have a leveraged income, not a linear income, a leveraged income, and that could be leveraging their time with other people's efforts, like what I do, or it could be leveraging their money. Their money's making money, passive income, opportunities, things like that. So residual income, passive income, leveraging their time, leveraging their money, but that makes up 5% of the country. And those 5% of people control 95% of the wealth. So that's simple metrics on just income and having time and money. I talked about that in my last video. If you're trading your time for money, you can't have both because you're trading one for the other. But how can you have both? How can you live free? How can you have time flexibility along with financial flexibility? And is that possible for the average person? 95% of people would probably say no. And that's why they're average. But, but I'm telling you, and this is my message to the world, that it's absolutely possible. And I've lived it for the last 8 years. I haven't had a job. And dude, if you're listening to me right now, I'm no more special or better. I'm not better than anyone that's listening to my voice, not even the slightest bit. I do my best to live with integrity and I do my best to add value to the people who are around me. I do my best to only allow positive things to you know enter my mind. I'm not a cynical person. I'm not pessimistic. I don't see the glass half empty. So if there's any differentiators, um, that would make me different than maybe the average person. I would say it's just mindset stuff. It's spiritual stuff. It's um, how I see the world. It's my perspective. It's my paradigm. But the cool thing about all of us is we can all shift that paradigm. If you read the caption, I talked about how, if we're designing our life like an artist designing, just got a new canvas right here. I don't know if any of y'all knew I was an art major. Okay, so I got this new canvas, 20 by 20. I'm gonna actually draw a abstract. I like to do abstract art, so I'm gonna draw something and allow. I'm hoping my grandma. Well, she said she will. My grandmother's a phenomenal artist. She taught art for like 20 years in high school, but she's one of the most talented artists I've ever seen or met. So we're gonna tag team a piece of art together. Um, but I love art. That's an Elton J. Louvier print right there. Anyway, what was I saying here? Getting lost. The ADD is kicking in. Okay, so I believe that we are artists who are creating a life. That's basically what we're doing on this planet is we are designing our life, attracting the life based off who we are, what we think about, what we feel, what we believe, how we perceive the world to be. And we design this life based off of our attitude, our choices, what we expect, our reality, our personality, which is based off of our thoughts and feelings and expectations, and our choices, all of which we can control. We can't control everything that happens to us or for us. See that difference perspective shift? Why is this happening to me? What if you ask, why is this happening for me? What challenge is this providing for me to learn how to overcome? But see, All this stuff I'm talking about right now, and I know I'm all over the place, but if you just bear with me for a second and listen to what I'm telling you right now, it'll change everything in your life. And I truly believe this. And I'm not some um, billionaire, expert, success thought leader, or nothing like that. I'm just a 40-year-old dude sitting in his house, taking a break from watching monotonous streaming television to say, you know what, let me add some value to my audience today. Let me share something that has me over here sitting at my house, living a fully autonomous lifestyle, living free, enjoying my life. Let me just give the world a snippet of what I've done to have this. Because I can assure you, I'm not saying everybody wishes they lived like me, or that I'm trying to come across from a boastful standpoint, like, oh, I have this great life. My wife's driving the brand new Escalade. We live free, you know, two-story house, the pool in the backyard, like travel all over the world. I'm not trying to be, that's not who I am. I'm not trying to act like I'm some accomplished, thought leader and that everybody should listen to me. That's not the position that I want to have. That's not what I'm trying to do here at all. I'm coming from a very humble position in saying this. Like I've gotten to this place thanks to other leaders, other mentors, having that my own perspective shift 10 years ago to where I did start focusing on personal development. I did start focusing on the spiritual side of success and understanding the metaphysical laws of the universe that are real. Universal laws are just like physical laws, just like your law of gravity. Whether you believe in it or not, doesn't matter. You go jump off the roof and see what happens. Spiritual laws are the same way. Metaphysical laws are the same way. Laws of cause and effect, laws of uh, vibration, frequency, energy, quantum physics. There's a book. Oh, it's in my bedroom because I'm reading it again, and I'm listening to the audiobook while I read. I'm like reading along while I listen to the book. It's just the way I do it sometimes, but it keeps me on track. But there's a book. Everyone should read this book. It's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Gikandi or something like that. Read it. You want a simplified version of quantum physics that you can understand and apply into your life, metaphysical law, and understand how it works. Read that book. Read that book, and it will help you understand the things that I'm talking about. But how can someone work at the same place as someone else? Like, let's just use network marketing for an example. And I'll use myself as the lesser of the two. So, like, just say somebody like my mentor, John Milton, the one who enrolled me in the company that I'm in today, earns multiple six figures a month. Okay. He earns, let's just say 10 times what I earn. I'm in the same company, same products, same compensation plan. How can somebody like him earn 10 times more than me? And I understand and I'm applying myself. Now I do earn a very, comfortable living. How can I earn 10 times more than someone else in the same business? Does it mean that they're lazy and I'm not? Does it mean that I'm lazier than John? Now he does have an unbelievable work ethic, but there's more to it than that. There's more to it than what you're doing, what you're saying. It's how you think. It's not even what you think about. It's how you think. It's how you think. What determines how you think? It's our programming. And guys, I'm telling you, this is everything right now. What I'm telling you will change your whole life. It's starting off your day with gratitude. And gratitude will, just having that, it opens you up to receive. Why would God say, well, he's not even happy with what I've given him now. Why would I give him more? And I think that when we pray and ask for things, the Bible does say, ask and you shall receive, but I think it's how we ask. I think we have to ask with some sort of intelligence. And not, I'm not saying like proper grammar and things like that, but we have to be specific. We need to write things down. We need to be very clear on what it is we want. And having that clarity is going to, and being grateful for what we believe we're attracting and being the person who deserves it by the law, spiritual law of cause and effect, meaning you can't be above serving others. You can't be above um, giving of yourself and adding value, which is why I'm on here right now. I'm doing my personal best to add some sort of value to maybe one person who could be listening to me right now. Maybe someone who's watching the replay of this video right now may get something that adds some sort of value to their life that maybe, you know, allows for some sort of perspective shift or maybe causes them to open their mind up just a little bit, to think a little bit bigger, to expect a little bit more, to believe a little bit bigger than they may have believed before they heard this. And you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to work harder than you're getting paid for. Jim Rohn says, if you work harder than you're paid for, you're making an investment into your future. That could be at a job, that could be in a business, that could be in a relationship. So many of us feel so entitled. And I think that's what hurts people in a business because, when you have an employee mindset, when you conform to the masses and you think like the majority of people do, it's such a give and take type thing. And meaning like, well, I worked, I should be compensated for that. Like you go, let's just say someone works at Burger King. I'm just using this as an example. They go to work for 5 hours and they make $11 an hour. After they're done with that 5 hours, they're like expecting $55, which is fine. But what I'm saying is, if you eliminate the illusion of money, because that's all it is an illusion. It's perceived value that we give it. Here's what I found. Oh, no, sorry. If you forget about that and just see it as exchanging of value, you're going to be paid in life in direct proportion to the value that you're adding to the marketplace. So how can you become more valuable as a human being? How can you become more valuable? Where are you positioning yourself to be someone of value? And how are you serving the masses? Because that's what's going to lead to greatness. It's in the Bible. Service to many leads to greatness. And I'm just telling you, from a business standpoint, there are ways you can serve the many. There are ways that you can scale and leverage your time, build an organization. But lots of those businesses that you can do that in uh, have a lot of risk involved. Like this to say, opening up a franchise, there's risk involved. I know, people that have opened up gyms and tried to do things that even that had lots of risk involved. Traditional business has risk. Startup capital, employees, inventory, accounts receivable, accounts payable, rent if you're renting a brick and mortar building, workers' comp. Um, you're paying bookkeepers to keep track of your numbers. I mean, it's just expense after expense after expense. And that's if you can even scale that. The business I'm in, I mean, I made a comparison the other day on a Facebook post to a drug dealer. It's like being a drug dealer. You have no startup capital. Well, unless, the products, but the cool thing about art, we don't have to buy the products and then resell them. You just all you're doing is looking for end consumers to use the products that you're marketing. And then you also have the ability to, build a team of distributors. It's just like being a drug dealer. Even the money, like I was telling you earlier, the guy that enrolled me earns multiple six figures a month. This dude lives like a kingpin. He's got mansion. He has got a multi-million dollar beach house in Destin. Just lives in a. If you've ever seen his house, lives in a mansion, and he traveled all over the world and just do what has no, I mean, responsibility outside of his family and his business that he is engaged in. But I mean, it's crazy. But I don't have to worry about product manufacturing. I don't have to worry about employees. I don't have to worry about inventory. I didn't need startup capital. I mean, a few $100, but I mean, that's nothing. I don't have to worry about accounts receivables, payables. I don't have to worry about paying my team. We get paid daily. There's an app. They pay us straight to our phone, just kind of like PayPal or Venmo. In fact, we get paid a bonus today. Transfer it straight to my account and live where I want to live. If this thing has reception, I'm in business. How do I have this life and all these other people stressed out, pissed off, living day to day, you know, and don't have this life? Did I just, this is what people think. Oh, you must have got in at the right time. He must be at the top of his pyramid or all this different ignorant stuff people think. Now, a lot of that, people are kind of getting more educated on this profession nowadays. I don't think people are near as ignorant as they used to be. I mean, everybody's doing some sort of home-based business these days. Most people are. I feel like it's more people are supplementing their income with some sort of side hustle, home-based business, online business than, 10 years ago when I started. People thought I was just absolutely insane for trying something different than going to work for somebody and collecting a paycheck. Creating a paycheck is just as easy as collecting a paycheck. You just can't have that employee mentality. You can't just say sometimes in the beginning you got to work harder than you're getting paid for, but eventually you get to a point where you're getting paid for more than what you're doing because you've built something. You grinded it out. You built an organization. You scaled, and you're in that 5% where you're leveraging your income. Let me give some shout outs real quick. Ashley, what's up? Oh, it is a Amazon Prime Day. That must be why she sent me that. You always share value. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate you, my man. Ashley McNally. I love the analogy. Thanks, my friend. So, the thing about it, guys, is this: your thoughts matter. We live in a metaphysical world where it's all about frequency. It's all about what you expect. It's all about what you picture. You get in life what you picture, not what you want. There's people that want to make six figures a year, and that's what they get every year. They still want it. They want it. They don't picture it and expect it and become the one who deserves it by becoming someone of value and finding the opportunity that they can expand their territory. They can serve the masses. They can, add value to lots of people, and there's just so many ways to do that. It's not just what I do. What I do, I believe is the best way because I understand it and I'm comfortable with it and I'm familiar with it and I've lived it and I see the results. I live the results. So I know it's possible because it's not theoretical to me because I wake up every day and live it. I wake up every day, when I'm tired of sleeping. You can too. So let's talk about metaphysics. Let's talk about, I hate saying the law of attraction because it sounds so cheesy and hokey. It almost doesn't sound believable, but I'm just telling you it's real. It is real. And I think it does start with gratitude. Oh, back to how you pray. I'm ADD, so you gotta forgive me. So, like, this is what I just wrote in my gratitude journal today. So I know y'all don't understand the ranks of our company, but this is how I pray, and I come from a place of gratitude. And I just said, all right, July 13th, 2022. I'm so happy and grateful now that so many leaders are showing up in our business. I'm so thankful to be an Elite Three in November of 2022. I know it's already done. I'm an Elite Three in Modere. Thank you, God. That's it. That's how I pray. That's what it said right there. And you know why I say it that way? It's because exactly what I just explained when I said about picturing and wanting. If I'm asking for it, I'm separating the two. Like I don't have it. I'm asking for it. I'm separating it. It's not that's it puts you in a scarcity mentality like I need, I don't have. It separates one from the other. But when you bring them together and picture it already done, and I'm grateful for the results that are on their way, grateful for the blessings that I know are coming to me. And I picture that exact thing happening and I expect it. My emotions, I'm emotionally backing the things that I'm writing. I'm writing it. I'm taking it from the spiritual world. I'm bringing it into the physical world. I'm taking it from my desire, my dreams, and my want and my why. And I'm writing it down specifically saying, hey, thank you for this. That I know is happening. I know it's happening because it will happen. And I will do my part to make it happen. So I don't just sit. I heard it once said, if you just sit on your couch all day and think positive thoughts, eventually somebody's going to come get your couch. The whole faith without action, right? But what it creates the action, and this is where people miss. So listen very close to what I'm about to say. This is what people miss. Yes, it does take action in the right capacity, which is what I talked about earlier in the leverage and the linear incomes. It does take action. But what leads you to into the action is the faith, is the belief. Business success, it's all 90% spiritual and 10% physical. So the physical part is the action. It is the how to. It is the strategies, it's the tactics, it's what you're doing and how you're doing it. But you know what's more important than the what and the how? The why. Simon Sinek wrote a book, Start with Why. It's a great book. Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich, the first chapter is desire. He says, desire is the starting point of all achievement. Every single thing was once a thought. You can sit around, you could sit and look at everything that you can see from where you were sitting. And guess what it was before the physical equivalent was ever a reality? It was a thought. It was a thought. From the chair you're sitting in, to the material it was made with, to the design, it was once a thought. Everything starts with thought. Everything starts with desire, want to, a dream, a reason. Reasons will always precede the results. I heard Justin Prince say faith will always precede the miracle. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, if you don't have the desire and the why and the want to and the reasons, let's face it, the how to part ain't going to happen anyway. The only reason you pay your bills every month is because you have this self image, this person who you see yourself as, and what you expect, and what you need, and what not what you need, what must happen for you to pay your bill and for you to put food on the plate for your family. That must happen because that's how you see yourself is, hey, come hell or high water, my family's gonna have a roof over their head and food on the table. Now I may go to work every day, I may not be here, I may be, come home tired and exhausted, and I may be missing out on all this time with my family, but hey, they're provided for. But that's what's you're living congruent to your self-image and what you expect and how you have set your standards in life. That's what you're doing, which is fine. I'm not knocking that. In fact, I admire everyone who works hard and provides for their family. It's very noble. But but listen very closely here. Those standards that you have set, those musts that you have. Now, a lot of people have those musts and then they have their shoulds. Well, I should probably start a side hustle. I should probably put, six figures in a savings account for a nest egg in case I lose my job. I probably should spend more time with my family or create an income to where leverages my time so I can have more time for my family. But hey, none of that matters right now. Right now, I got to go to work because hey, the car note's due in a week, and if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. And I can't pay the car note, and I can't drive to work, and then my whole life falls apart, and that's just how it is. It's not how it is. It's how you're programmed to think by what you've listened to, by what you've read, by who you associate with, by how you've programmed your mind, what your parents taught you, and what you've seen all your friends do for the last 20 years. That's why you think that way. And that's why I'm on here for just a few minutes. I've already spoke for 31. Golly. But I'm here to tell you that's not doesn't have to be the reality. No matter what you think is true. What you think is just how you see the world in every single aspect of your life. Nothing is. It's how you see it. It's the lens in which you observe and experience this world through. It's your personal take by your programming, your thoughts, your feelings, which lead to your actions, which lead to your results. How do you change your results? It goes all the way back to the beginning. Your programming, your paradigm. It's metaphysical law, cause and effect, what you expect, what you picture. It's your inner world that's going to create your outer world. It's your subconscious beliefs, not your conscious thoughts. Conscious thoughts are, I need to do this today, I need to do that today. This is what I expect to happen in my life, my standards, my beliefs, my expectations, my feelings. That's that inner world. That's your I mean, no, I'm sorry. Your conscious thoughts, I got mixed up when I was talking. Your conscious thoughts are simple decisions throughout the day that a lot of habits and patterns and just things that you do because you think you need to do them. Your subconscious beliefs are what leads to those habits and patterns, meaning this is what you expect. Your subconscious thoughts are what you believe deep down. It is that programming, that paradigm, your standards, that's subconscious. What you do about it is conscious. But see, whatever your subconscious mind believes, what you consciously do confirms it. It confirms what you subconsciously believe. So, how can we change our subconscious beliefs to expect more, to believe bigger, to set higher standards, have a different self-image? I said it in the I said it in the caption about you got to clear the canvas. Some of y'all's life looks like this Jackson Pollock painting. It's just splattered all over the place. You got to wipe that shit clean and start over. Reprogram your software. Reprogram this multi-trillion-dollar computer that you have between your two ears. It can happen. It can be done. It happened for me. I think it takes about I think it takes about I don't know, 3 to 5 years, if I'm being honest, to reprogram yourself, but it can be done. I think Mike Tyson was 13 years old when his coach took him in, and by 18 years old, he was beating world class fighters. 5 years. 5 years. I mean, you can reprogram your entire self in 5 years, but you have to do it. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can say, hey, turn that crap off the TV. Stop putting that stuff into your brain. Protect your thoughts, protect your energy at the highest level. Limit your association with all these negative people who are telling you what you can't do and what's not possible, and the world sucks, the economy sucks, gas is so high, and the president's an idiot, and all this stuff. What's the matter? What's that got to do with you and your family and your life? Yeah, gas is expensive, but it's not that it's expensive, it's that you can't afford it. I don't think about, I mean, honestly, I'm not extremely concerned with the gas prices. It sucks. I mean, I wish they were lower. It sucks to pay that much, but you know what? You know, it's all what you think about. It's all what you think about. So this is what I challenge everybody to do. I want you to do this. And this is homework assignment for anybody listening to my voice. Oh, first of all, let me know if you're catching this on the replay, because I know very few people catch this live, because I always do this in the middle of the day when everybody's at work. But if you find it, if you find time to watch this, and if you've been stuck with me for 35 minutes, I'm going to give you an exercise that will 100%, if you follow through with it, will change your life. I'm telling you guys, I promise you. You got to start thinking about what you're thinking about. You got to inventory your thoughts every single day, every single second of every single day. I want you to think that if you think about it, it's really going to happen. If you expect it, it's absolutely going to happen. Everything, everything in your whole life. If you're talking bad about yourself, stop. Oh, I'm so fat. Oh my gosh, I'm this, I'm that. I just can't lose weight, or I just nobody's joining my business. Everybody that's in my business, none of them are doing nothing. I can tell what people expect by what they say. Everybody I talk to, nobody's getting in. Nobody on my team's doing nothing. That's what you expect. That's what you picture. That's what's going to happen. Gas prices suck. I just can't afford to go to the grocery store anymore. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. It's like having this scarcity mindset. You got to have an abundant mindset. You got to think and expect to win every single second of every single day, and become the person who can. Not only this is what you should do. Write write out an paragraph of your ideal lifestyle. I mean, everything that you would want your life to be. And I know it's hard to dream for a lot of people, because they've had reality stomp on their dreams their entire freaking life. It's hard to dream. But let's just say that this world is magical. Let's just say this universe is yours to create. Let's just say you can manipulate energy, and that you have the God given creative faculties. If we were created in God's image and God created the world and we were created in his image, who's to say that you don't have the same creative faculties that are a gift from God to create? Who's to say that's not true? God gave us a lot of things to work with. Look at this stuff we've come up with as humans on this planet. Look at this. I mean, every time I fly in an airplane, I'm thinking, how in the world are all these people up in this big chunk of metal flying through the air safely to another destination? It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about, but it's possible. It's crazy to think that you're watching and listening to me right now in real time from wherever you're at, and my computer is not connected to your computer. One little tiny little hole is capturing the image of me and sending it to you with my voice and all this stuff. Somebody came up with this. Someone's thoughts and belief that they could come up with this led to it. What's not possible? Tell me that. What is not possible? We don't know. A lot of people thought this would have not been possible 100 years ago, but it is. So let's pretend, which is not pretending, But we live in this magical universe where anything's possible. Wipe the canvas clean of your programming. Wipe your life that you've expected, because your life right now is congruent to the way you've thought and felt and acted up until this point. Your programming up until this point is why you are where you are right now. So take it all away or create a new picture, create new programming, create new thoughts and rewire your mind. Different neural pathways in your mind. Every time you think outside the box, you create a new neural pathway in your mind. And the reason you do the same thing every single day, drive the same way home, you have all these patterns and habits that you've done, it's just neural pathways that in your mind that have formed over time. And now you do these things subconsciously. And it's based off of your programming, your self-image, and it's going to be congruent to the way you live life. So how can you change all that? How can you change your inner world? Because your outer world is just a mirror image of your inner world. You got to change the roots before you can change the fruits. Because whatever you plant is what's going to produce. And it doesn't matter what you plant. Whatever you're planting, the seeds you're planting, the input, the programming is what's produced, whether you believe it or not. It's law. Whatever I put into that tube of toothpaste, when I squeeze it, that's what's coming out. I want you to eliminate the negativity out of your life. Eliminate the cynical, pessimistic thoughts that naturally come to you because of your programming, and don't think about them. Think positive, expect more, picture more. Write down the ideal lifestyle that you want. Now, I went off on a tangent when I was talking about dreaming, but guys, write down your ideal lifestyle in detail and dream and think bigger. Don't write what you think it's going to be, write what you wish it could be. If if money was not an option, time was not an option. I mean, not a obstacle, not it, what it made no difference. Like you had all the money in the world, you had all the time in the world. Like, what would you want to do with your life? And start writing. Write down everything. Dang, I always leave my stuff in the other room. I could show you goals and stuff that I write down. I mean, and it's just so big. But the God I serve is so big. My belief is so big. My expectations are so big. And I have no doubt that's going to happen. I don't worry. Everyone who's ever accomplished anything believed that they could do it and went after it and worked for it. And they worked for it because they believed it so much. Why would they if they didn't believe? The only limits you have are the ones you place on yourself by the size of your thinking. So you got to expand these self-limiting beliefs and basically write a new story. You're the hero of your story. You're letting all these no-name extras in your movie determine how you feel. You're worrying about what all these people are thinking, how they see you. You base your self-confidence and your self-image off how you think other people see you. You can't do that. You got to wipe all that clean. What I think about is going to happen. What I'm grateful for is happening. When I pray, I know my God can deliver. And I know He wants you to have an abundant God wants you to have an abundant life. What else is there? I mean, why not? Why do you think, I mean, what's the point of this life if it's not to enjoy and go after the things that you want and spend time with the people you care about and travel and experience and have freedom and just be happy. Happiness. You know, life is so short. It's so short. We have so little time to get out of this life what we want before it's over. And a lot of us don't realize until we get closer to the end that we should have some sort of sense of urgency like, hey, I got to get my bucket list. I got to do these things before I die. You got to live now, man. You got to live right now and realize the magical place we're living in. Realize the possibilities that you have for your life. Realize that your potential is God given, and don't base it off of your past. Don't base it off people you associated with. Wipe that slate clean. Raise your standards. Turn your shoulds into musts. These musts that you had, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I have to do this. Treat your shoulds like that. Expect to have more so you can give more, become more, become someone who negative people can't stand to listen to. I guarantee you there's people that got on here that are negative, cynical, pessimistic, just they didn't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to me talk about this, but you did. Why? You know why? Because something intuitively in your heart says, you know what? I'm meant for more than what I'm living right now. I'm designed for more than just to go to work, pay bills, and die. I love my family and I want to be with them. I don't want to get videos sent to me while I'm at work of my kids' first steps or, uh, you know, all these other families taking vacations and traveling, and I'm stuck at work and my kids are at daycare, and I'm just, what am I doing? It's the standards. It's your musts. Your musts aren't high enough. They're still shoulds. Turn your shoulds into musts. Anthony Robbins said that. I'm not trying to act like this is all like original thoughts. I've heard this all from someone, but I had to do. I had to. I had to put it all in here to change my paradigm, to raise my standards, to expect more. And guess what? It's all happened. It's all happened. Every goal I write down, everything I'm grateful for the majority of it, it's happened. And the things that I asked for that didn't happen served me better than what I even wanted, what I thought wanted to happen. People that I thought I didn't want to lose, it was better that I lost them. Places that I wanted to stay, that I was forced out of, was for my better. I was better off. So sometimes God knows more, than you do. So yes, you do have to trust the timing, the universe's timing. Don't worry about when it's going to happen. Just know that it will. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Just know that it will. Don't worry about what you have to do to make it happen. Just know that you will. You will be shown the way as it unfolds. Just like driving at night in your car in the dark. Your headlights only light up, what, 100 feet in front of you, something like that? It's night. It's dark. You can't see the whole way, but you can see right in front of you. Follow that intuitively. And when opportunities present themselves, when people present themselves who may know a way, walk through the door. If door opens, walk through it. If one closes, don't force it open. Trust that your path's being shown. Oh, go through the next door. Don't get that scarcity mindset. Don't panic. It's okay to have a sense of urgency. It's okay to have the desire for where you want to be, but don't worry about it. It's all going to be all right. It's all going to be okay. Trust me, I have to tell my wife this all the time. Well, what about this? What about that? It's going to be all right. Don't worry. And it will. And you will. You will. It's metaphysical law. So that's what I challenge you to do. Write down a paragraph of an ideal lifestyle. And then, hey, and then on the next page, if you want to do this, you really want to get technical, not technical, but you really want to apply this exercise, write down your ideal lifestyle. Write down every excuse and everything stopping you, every distraction, every disappointment, everything that you think could stop you. Write it down on another piece of paper. Go outside in a safe spot, light that freaking thing on fire. Light those excuses on fire. Watch them burn. Rip the paper up. Watch it. Or if you don't want to burn it, rip it up right in front of you. I'm taking all these excuses and I'm throwing them away. This is the life that I want. This is the life that I desire. This is the life that I expect. This is the life that I believe will happen. And I will become the person who deserves it. Because you do deserve it. Why don't you think you deserve it? Well, because you what? You've sinned. You've made a mistake in life. Name the first person who hasn't. We've all fallen short. We've all made mistakes. We've all made poor decisions. Trust me, I've made more than a lot of people. Doesn't mean doesn't mean God doesn't want you to have a good life. You just got to understand what you did was wrong and don't do it again. Understand that, it does matter to live with integrity. Understand that, your value does determine, you know, your life. So become more valuable. Live the right way. Think good thoughts. Act in accordance to those good thoughts. Serve. Make a difference. Believe bigger, faster. It's cause and effect. Everything is cause and effect. Every thought has an effect. Every action has an effect. Every choice has an effect. A lot of you guys don't think about what you're thinking about. A lot of you guys don't understand that thoughts have consequences. You think only your actions have consequences. And that's why you've lived the way you've lived. But your thoughts determine the way you feel. Your philosophy, the way you think and how you think. That's why it's so good to associate with people playing the game at a higher level than you are. That's why it's so important to to get around people who are thinking differently than you. Read the books that cause you to think differently. Break the patterns of habit that have not served you in a positive way. Create new neural pathways in your mind, uh, bigger, expectations, bigger beliefs, um, new goals. Write down things and become the person. Think, how would a person who has this lifestyle walk, act, dress, communicate? When they shake someone's hand and look them in the eye, do they do that with confidence? How do they treat their family? How do they treat their spouse? How do they come across to the world? Because you're attracting, Jim Rohn says, success is something that it's not something that you pursue, it's something that you attract by who you become. And you think all the way back to the beginning of this video, I don't know, nobody probably stood, I don't know how many of you stuck with me for 53 minutes, but in the very beginning, I said, Earl Nightingale's The Stranger's Secret says, you become what you think about. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, which is who he becomes. Jim Rohn says, become a millionaire, not for the money, but for who you'll become in the process of achieving it. It's who you are. It's who you are. You're attracting people to you or repelling people from you by who you are. That's in business, that's in life, that's in relationships, that's everything. It's you. It's you. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better, Jim Rohn. Don't ask for less problems, ask for more skill. Jim Rohn says that too. I quote him a lot. He's made a difference in my life. He's a mentor. He's passed away, but he's a mentor. So I hope this information finds somebody today. I hope that it reaches someone. I always forget to go back and look at the comments. Andrew Cherney, thanks, bro. Michelle Magruder, what's up? Rodney Harrington, great point. I have strong faith and desire. I need to wake up with this business. I'm tired of sleeping. Hey, man, wake up, brother. Jamie Usi, what's up? Michelle, hey, girl. Sabrina Corbin, what's up? They probably already, they may have already left before they heard my response. I first forget to check. Oh, look, time well spent. Thanks, Rodney. But see what I just said right there? They probably already got off before they even heard me. That's negative thinking. See, I'm not perfect. I do the same thing. I shouldn't be thinking like that. That's a perfect example of negative self-talk. You got to take inventory of that. You got to recognize it when it happens. So I hope this, like I said, finds you well. I hope you realize this magical universe that you're a part of. I hope you start applying these things that I mentioned. Start raising your standards, raising your expectations, raising your beliefs. Write down your goals, expect them to happen, be grateful for them before they even happen, and emotionally grateful. Your emotions are what gives your thoughts life. Be passionate, be authentic. Don't be ashamed and apologetic for what it is that you desire in this life. Get after it, go after it, become the one who can have it. You are capable of all of it. Find a mentor who's living the life you want. Find someone who has the results you're looking for and ask them. Hey, I had an hour-long conversation with a team member today, this morning, for about 45, 50 minutes. And I was like, look, dude, these are the blind spots I see. Sometimes we can't see when we're in the fight. Sometimes we need a corner man to see what we're not seeing from the outside looking in. Find a mentor. Find someone who's got your back. Find an accountability partner. But don't get around people, only people that you have influence over, because it makes you feel good that they look up to you and praise you. Find some people who you look up to. Find some people that you can get around that are going to cause you to stretch and cause you to grow and cause you to get a glimpse of what it looks like to be more. And then you'll learn. You'll grow just by that proximity, just by being around people like that. You'll get better. You'll get better, and you can. You can and you will. I believe in you. I believe in you. And I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm gonna act like I do, but I'm just telling you, I believe in everybody. I see the best in people. And I know that as human beings, as God's highest form of creation, that we're capable of anything and everything if we believe it and we work towards it. I just don't see anything that's not possible. So thank you for allowing me to, be on here with you today. Thanks for allowing me to talk for, an hour about these things that are on my heart. And I hope that the right person listens to this and hears the right message that could impact their life in a positive way. If that happens, hey, then, you know, I'm happy. My job is done. So if you want to share this, feel free. Sometimes I pick people, like people share it. Sometimes I'll pick people that share it and I'll send them a free live free shirt. Um, but don't do it, only share it if you want to. Share it if you want to. Comment if you can. Let me know that you watched. It matters. It makes a difference. I had a guy come to my door. The last Facebook Live I did, had a guy found me on Facebook, figured out where I live, and came and introduced himself. Thought that was pretty cool. So, Stephen, if you're watching this, it's great to meet you. I look forward to visiting some more tomorrow. But you never know who you're making, whose life you're making a difference in, you know? And I just hope I'm making a difference in someone's. So every like, every comment, I don't take it lightly, not even a little bit. It means the world to me because my passion and my purpose, my magnificent obsession is to spread the message that people can live free. I believe that I've been put in this position not to just sit in my living room and watch Netflix all day, but to say, "Hey, I've shown you that it's possible. You're doing it. Now go share with everyone else it's possible." Don't just find your way out of the dungeon and just go live your life. When you find your way out of the freaking dungeon, get yourself cleaned up. Go back and help everybody else that's stuck in the dungeon. I'm coming back and grabbing your hand and pulling you out. That's what I'm trying to do here. I want everybody to live the life that they want. And I don't even know what that looks like for you. But whatever it looks like, just know that it can happen. And that's all I'm trying to do is tell you that it can happen. Don't underestimate this world we live in, the possibilities and your potential. Don't underestimate it because it's bigger than you think it is. So, with that, I'm out of here. Much love. God bless. Live free. And I'll catch you guys again soon. Later.